Hey everyone, it's Lori with Farmhouse Stencil Shop. I'm going to decoupage a jar and make a simple floral arrangement. I'm going to take Waverly white chalk paint and I'm going to paint a couple coats on the jar. I'm using a couple of different jars here to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to use a Dollar Tree napkin and I'm taking some water on a paintbrush and just kind of going over the areas to pick out the part of the napkin that I want to use. And the water helps the napkin rip really easily. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to place that on the jar and make sure it fits okay and tweak it a little bit, trim it up some. And now I'm going to grab a bag of beans. And you heard me right, because it's the beans that help you to hold your jar in place while decoupaging. I have just put some Mod Podge on the jar and I'm just smoothing the napkin over the jar. And I smooth that down on both sides and add more Mod Podge as needed. And I'm going to go and pick out another little section of the same napkin. And I'm going to add that to my jar the same way with Mod Podge. I try to smooth down the wrinkles as needed. Sometimes it's hard because when the jar is curved, you get little wrinkles under the napkin, but if you go slowly, and I know the video is sped up, but if you go slowly, you can get most of those wrinkles out. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to take Minwax polyacrylic in a matte finish, and I'm going to brush a coat of that over the jar. You want to make sure your Mod Podge is dry before you go back and seal it with a polyacrylic. The next thing I'm going to do is make a little sign for my bouquet of flowers. I'm going to use some burnt umber in the apple barrel acrylic paint. I'm going to paint a coat of that. And after that is dry, then I'm going to take some wax and I'm going to just rub some wax over that. And I'm going to paint on a coat of the Waverly white chalk paint. And once that is dry, I'm going to take a scraper and go back over and over the little circle and try to peel some of that paint back off to give it a chippy look. I'm going to sand the edges. I'm going to place my stencil. I'm going to use some acrylic paint and just stencil on the words fresh cut flowers. And once that's done, I'm going to use a fine tip brush and paint my bridges. And I'm going to glue on a little stick on the back to make my little sign. And the next thing I'm going to do is wrap the top of the jar with some jute twine. This is to hide the very top of the jar, which is kind of ugly, and hide your flaws in the napkin and everything. I'm going to put a little bit of Excelsior in the bottom to hide the bottom of the floral arrangement. Put some floral foam in, and I'm just going to place some flowers. I picked some purples, pink, and green to match the napkin as much as possible. Now I'm going to make a little bow for my sign. And And I'm just going to do that with some jute twine. And I'm going to go around the edges of the sign with some Kilt sealing wax. And that's it. We have a cute little arrangement. This is a cute way to make something to give to someone else as a gift. Don't throw away your extra jars because you can use them to make this kind of project. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you.